Lee here. I'm going to do another video. This one's going to be interesting. If you've watched my photography videos before, you know I do a ton of lens reviews, and in those lens reviews a lot of times I'll talk about where I bought it off eBay. So I do a lot of buying off eBay. I do a lot of selling on eBay too. So this is kind of photography on eBay, selling basically. If you're trying to sell a lens you bought for your camera, or you're already an eBay seller and you want to kind of widen your categories and dive into photography and start selling some photography related items to help out your store gain some money. So I've sold over the years about 5,500 items on eBay. I think around probably 3,000 of those were photography related items, and probably 2,500 of those were different lenses. So I've got a lot of knowledge in different lenses, all the different mounts, just a little bit of everything. So I'll talk about lenses here. When I go to buy a lens, like, you can find lenses everywhere. You know, flea markets, yard sales, estate sales. That's where a lot of people, sorry about that, a lot of people get their photography related items to sell on eBay. Well, guess where I get them? I buy them off eBay, because people don't have the knowledge and they'll just go to that estate sale, buy it, get there early, buy it, and then just throw it on eBay untested. I have no knowledge of photography as is or whatever. So those are the kind of items I will buy at auction off eBay and resell them, and a lot of times double, sometimes triple, sometimes 10 times my money. It's just having the knowledge of what the lenses are, or the photography equipment that is there. So I'm going to try to help you with that. So but first, let's talk about if you are just wanting to sell one lens. You have a lens, we'll talk about that first. Say you have a Canon camera and you have a L series lens and you want to sell it. The L series lens is worth about $1,000. When you're selling on eBay, you got to think eBay and PayPal fees. The best way to figure that out is it's just about 15%. So if you're selling a $1,000 lens, $150 of that is going to be in fees to eBay and PayPal. So just think about that, and you probably just want to start off trying to sell it on maybe Craigslist or Facebook Marketplace first. You could also just briefly about Facebook Marketplace, I would try entering some photography sales groups as well, and just kind of post it up on there, and then you could ship it. You won't get that. You'll take the PayPal fee, but it's not that much compared to eBay and PayPal fee. So you could try selling it and post them up on there as well before you go to eBay, so you won't get hit dinged so big on those really large items. When you're listing any item, photography item, you need to make sure you put model. Let's say you're selling a 135 f2 Canon L series lens. You're going to put all that in the title, just exactly as I just said. And then you're also going to put 4, make sure you put 4 in there, and then you put a ton of different models of cameras that you know it fits on. You also have to put EF, it's an EF mount, if you're not familiar with that. So you put EF mount 4, and then 50D, 60D, 70D, 6D, 5D, 1D. You just put a bunch of cameras, as much as you could, try to fill up that title, because when people are searching for it, that's what they're going to find. You'll get more hits, more views of people finding it that way. Believe it or not, a lot of people say they buy a 5D camera brand new, what's the latest one, the Mark IV, and they spend $3,500 on it. You would not believe how many people spend $3,500 on a camera and they have no idea what lenses fit on that camera. They don't know the lens mount. They didn't go through the manual at all. So that's why it's always helpful to put all those models in the title. Helps people find your stuff. So now, car, now airplane. So I'm going to grab a camera right here. This is kind of the stuff I sell a lot of. This is something I bought off of eBay. It came with, did I buy this off eBay? No, I bought this one at a flea market actually. So this was $5. It came with the lens, I've got a video I'm going to link down below in the description. Check that out. It's actually how to test the lens, and it goes through and tells you how to test it and make sure everything's good. So I'm not going to go through that to save time on this video. But I bought this one for $5. So I walked up and just tested it real quick, made sure the shutter fired and everything turned good, and even broken at $5 this would be good. You could actually sell these straps for around $10. And this one is an old Minolta SRT 202 in working condition. This would probably sell for around $20 just for the body. This lens on here is a 50 f1.7. This lens by itself would sell for about $35, and I knew that right off the bat. So that's what it is. If you sell a lot of any category on eBay, you'll start to learn when you're going to these things and you're not having to sit there look on your phone, is this worth anything? So I already knew that, and I was able to test it right there on the spot and know at $5. So I've got this selling for $35. So I'll make quite a bit of money off this. I'll go through another items here. Now here's some that I bought straight off of eBay. They didn't know anything about these. They just listed them on there, like I said. 3 lenses, 2 zooms, and was this 28 or 50? The 28. These are Shinar, which is pretty good lenses actually. So they didn't list it like I said. You have to list the mount. They obviously didn't know the mount. This is a Minolta mount. I also have a couple of different videos on my channel. I'll link them in the description below on figuring out what mount a lens is. It would be helpful for you to watch. But just selling photography stuff like this on eBay has been very profitable for me. Originally, when I was getting into photography, I wanted to make a bunch of money. I was going to do wedding photography because I knew there was money to be made in that, and I knew I couldn't actually make money in my landscapes, which was my favorite part of photography. That and wildlife. It's very hard to make money that way, but I knew I could do weddings. Weddings isn't too hard, but I did a couple and I just hated it. So I started selling a few things that I'd gotten that I was just testing out, and I was like, I could make more money doing this, and I don't really have to start hating photography because I'm shooting weddings. So that's where this all kind of started. So and my knowledge grew and grew and grew. So now I'm going to talk about the bad thing about selling photography items on eBay. So a lot of people use, and I sell lenses this way actually. A lot of people buy these old lenses like those I showed you right there. I bought those with shipping and everything. I can't remember. It was like it was like just under $20 for all of them. Yeah, that was it. It was $13.95, and it was a 99-cent auction. I won it for 99 cents. So yeah, it was like $15 for 3 lenses. When I buy old stuff like that on eBay, I try to buy them for $10 or less per lens when they're in a big lot like that. That's just a tip right there. And if there's something special in there, I'll go higher. If I see a lens that's like an f1.4, I'll go higher on that. I know if I spend under $10 on a lens, I could double my money, $20. Or a lot of times if they're zooms and they're not that good at zooms, I'll add an adapter to them and sell them for like a mirrorless camera, so somebody will be able to use it. And I'll put that in the title. I'll put manual, or I'll put 75 to 300 millimeter f5.6 lens for Panasonic, Olympus, EM5, EM10, GH3, GH4, kind of like that. And I'll do that and put that on there, and that will end up selling for more than the lens would by itself. And adapters, which I buy those on eBay, and I have to buy them from overseas because they're a lot cheaper buying them internationally. I'll get them for around $8 a pop. So I'll do that, and then I'll sell them for like $40. So I've more about doubled my money there. So that's what I do in that case. But I was going to talk about people buying stuff on eBay, problems that you'll come into. Like I said, a lot of people, when I was talking about, they'll buy a $3,500 camera and they don't know what lens mount works on it, you know. Same thing when I'm selling these adapted lenses, or they'll buy lenses and they're going to do it themselves, buy the adapter themselves and put it on there. A lot of people are just getting into the photography and they're trying out from different videos they've watched or different reviews or things they've read about using adapted lenses and such. And plus, of a lot of them don't have photography knowledge. They're saying you'll get emails back, this lens is defective, all the shots are you know, out of focus or blurred, and you kind of have to try to work with them. And this is not a large percent of the things you're going to sell. It's very, very small. It's 2% or below, but it is frustrating when you get one of those and you know you've tested a lens and you know it works. They're just, maybe they're trying to shoot something and their shutter speed isn't high enough and the image is coming out blurred. You'll get stuff like that, and you try to explain to them, or you try to ask them what the settings are, and they don't even know what the settings are. They can't even give you that information back. So that is the frustrating part about it. I've even had some people not know how to attach the lens to the camera because it's if it's adapted lens, it looks different than what their kit lens or autofocus kit lens looks like on the back. So they try to put it on there. They don't know to line up the dots on the mount and, from the camera and the lens. So that's kind of frustrating too. But for the most part, there's money to be made in it. You just gotta start buying some stuff and trying it out. That's the fun thing I like about it, because I get to try out all these lenses. Like I said, I've probably got 2,500 lenses that I tried out, so I've got a lot of knowledge in that, and just which brands are good. There's a ton of brands, and you might think you might buy a Soligor lens or something like that, buy a couple of them, and they're not very good. But then you find one and you keep it for yourself just because that copy of that lens for some reason is just outstanding compared to the other three that you've had. So it's a lot of fun. I suggest trying it out yourself. If you have any questions, leave a comment below. I hope this was helpful for you to watch this. One more thing, how do you ship this stuff? I know this is going to sound crazy to a lot of people, but I've shipped 2,000 lenses this way probably. Just something like this. You just bubble wrap it all the way around and put it in a flat rate envelope. $8 to ship this. That's where you'll beat out some other people selling the same lenses, because they're going to charge more for shipping in the first place, and they'll probably put it in a box. But if you wrap it in bubble wrap pretty thick, if you just sell it like this, you're going to get $20-25. So don't act like it's gold or something. Just wrap it up carefully. I've only had, like, out of those probably 2,000 lenses that I've sold like that, I've had one or two that got broken, and it wasn't that big deal. The amount I've saved and the amount that I've gotten people to buy just because my shipping was a little bit lower, probably, more than made up for the fact that I had a couple lenses broken that weren't that costly anyway. Now, if you have something that's close to $100, you want to put it in a box and be a little bit more secure about it. But just wrap it securely and you'll be fine. Yeah, if you have any questions, leave a comment below. Kind of blabbered on a lot, but check out those links below about how to test a lens and the different camera mounts, and that will help you learn a little bit about photography items to help you sell on your eBay store. Thanks for watching.